Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kerrville Weekly News Roundup, hosted by the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. Andrew, Gilbert, and Tom here to run over our favorite news picks for this past week. Tom, you want to do the honors as always and kick us off, sir?
Sure. I got a couple of political stories and a couple of more human interest stories. On the political side of things, the county's 391 commission has passed. This is the county's attempt to join with Kendall County to prevent a battery storage facility in either of our counties. All I have to say is good luck with that. The second thing also coming out of the county was that there is a move by the county to impose a hotel occupancy tax. Now, Kerrville and Ingram, the cities have hotel occupancy taxes, meaning whoever stays in a hotel has to pay, I think, a 7% tax. But Kerr County does not have a tax. And Kerr County estimates that would raise approximately $400,000. And the county has proposed that it be dedicated to the Hill Country Youth Facility for routine maintenance and upkeep. And the facility is in desperate need of some maintenance. So it would make a lot of sense. Of course, this is Kerr County, so there is already a divide brewing amongst those who want no taxes ever in Kerr County, who claim that even though the tax would be assessed against people who stay at B&Bs and hotels in Kerr County, that it will drive down occupancy rates because the rooms will cost more.
Sure.
And they don't want to have any more taxes levied anywhere, anytime, for any reason. Interestingly, our state senator, Pete Flores, said he will not even submit the bill, let alone support it. The Kerrville Chamber of Commerce is independently lobbying the Texas legislature to give Kerr County the right to impose such a tax. So I think it's a story we'll probably continue to watch as no tax crowd plays out in greater Kerr County. Next story comes to us from Fredericksburg, which unfortunately the Texas Ranger Heritage Center has now reverted back to the city of Fredericksburg. The Rangers Foundation could not get their act together. They couldn't come up with a plan. They've had this property for over 10 years now at $1 a year since 2011 and have yet to develop the property literally right on 290. It's prime property in Fredericksburg. And we've had a series of communications back and forth over the past several months between the Ranger Foundation and the city of Fredericksburg. But the city of Fredericksburg finally said enough is enough, and you've lost your right to maintain this property. So where it goes, there's a couple of freestanding structures on it. How it will be used is to be determined. Can't believe the Rangers couldn't get their act together, but that's what happens when you leave Kerrville in the dead of night.
Oh, boy.
Karma. There's something about karma. I think there's a good saying about it.
All right.
Thanks, Tom. That was a great segment. Gilbert, what are your top picks for this week?
Thank you. I've got two stories for us. One in the realm of stories that all national stories are really local stories, just multiplied many times over. And I'm talking about the immigration protests that occurred here at the Courthouse Square back on February the 8th. There was a
Saturday, right?
Yep. Last Saturday, there was a large group of people that gathered to protest some of the recent changes that the current administration has made in regards to immigration. And of course, it's caused a lot of upheaval, not only on a national level, but like I said, on a local level. My son, who goes to a local school here, has told me about several children who were missing or have missed a lot of days of school because they're concerned about immigration raids. And we've talked about here a couple of times about how some of those stories about raids and immigration picking up people from businesses and places of employment and places of worship and schools, how a lot of that's been blown out of proportion, but it still causes enough upset. And there was enough people concerned about the situation that they had a big protest in the Courthouse Square. It started off relatively small, but apparently about 200 people showed up roughly and made their voices heard about what they feel is going on and how things can be better handled. So it was interesting, but that's great to see because number one, we get to see democracy in action. People get to protest about things that they're passionate about. And number two, you can go out there and make your voice heard. You don't have to worry about getting disappeared in the middle of the night. somebody coming kicking down your
Yeah.
door, taking you away, and never to be heard from again.
Yeah.
Peaceful
Peaceful.
protest.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then peaceful protests too. We didn't have any looting or burning of cars on the courthouse square, but it was interesting. And I think as the months and years go by, we will have more discussions about what's going on in terms of immigration because, as I said, it impacts everybody locally, even though it might at first glance seem to be a national issue only. Because let's face it, immigrants are all over the place, whether you want to believe it or not. My next story is about the Kerrville Public School Foundation. On February the 23rd, from 5:30 to 9:30 at the Inn of the Hills, the Kerrville Public School Foundation will hold their trivia night. It is a way for them to raise money to support things that the school districts would like to do but doesn't have the money for. They do grants to teachers to help impact the learning of the students. They do scholarships. They fund a lot of different initiatives within the school district that the school district, frankly, just doesn't have the money for. It's a wonderful cause. I would encourage everybody to get out there and perhaps participate if you can. I've never been to a trivia night, but I'm talking about this because I am going to the trivia
I'm
night.
excited for y'all.
Yeah, it's going
And
to
you're
be
bringing
fun.
your lovely wife.
Yes,
and
I
some
hope
friends.
I hope that she will enjoy the time with us. And like I said, it's from 5:30 to 9:30 on February the 22nd, which is a Saturday night. Sitting at the Hills. And if you want more information, you can go to .com, I think it is. Let me see. I'm sorry, here it is.
And it is Saturday the 22nd.
Saturday the 22nd. Yes. I'm sorry, it's kpsf.net.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because there is alcohol being served, you must be 21 years old or older to participate. There's a limit of 350 guests, and you can go to kpsf.net for more information. It's a team of 8, and it's $75 per person. And I think it's well worth the investment to help support Kerrville Public Schools.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right. Only got 2 mentions for us here. One is a denial, and the other one's an approval, both from the city council, I believe, here in Kerrville. So just this week, the Kerrville City Council unanimously voted down an annexation request that would have added 263 acres and upwards of somewhere in the neighborhood, they say, of 1,100 proposed homes. I think they were quarter-acre lots. They probably missed the mark a little bit as far as what the affordable housing in price to the consumer would have been. But it was nevertheless a lot of housing stock, and we know that we need that here in Kerr County. But it was voted across the board, denied, just because of I think the main concern was the density of the project, maybe some water concerns around that. But I think there's more to come out of that, because apparently that same developer, this is their second attempt or second go at the city council trying to get a project like that approved. And we all know of the Lennar projects that's going on right now. There's 2 of those that they're working on. There's some proposed and planned and in development apartment on right now. So anyway, I think that's a lead story for us here in Kerrville, because we're so sensitive to the housing market.
Housing and water.
Housing and
Housing
water.
water.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the denial. The approval comes for the municipal golf course, which is the Scott Schreiner Golf Course, and I personally am a fan. I think it's at the top end, if you will, of municipal golf courses, and it's reasonably priced. It's just beautiful. So they're doing the city council recently approved $111,000 upgrades for the golf course. There's some articles in the Daily Times that have some of the details in there. I won't go into those, but yeah, that's exciting that we're getting that funding for our local municipal golf course, especially just in time for, I don't know that they've finished it for this year, but it's exciting. That's actually been in the works for a long time. And someone that golfs out there a couple times a year, that's exciting. Excited to see it. So that's the only 2 that I got. Y'all want to add anything about what you're doing this weekend?
I want to shout out to the local theater scene, because there are 4 plays I want to highlight. First is Bombshells, a brand new comedy by local playwright Lamel Mitchell. It's a screwball comedy based on the types of comedies we had in the 1940s. It's playing at the V.K. George Theater. There are 2 Peter Pan themed plays, one in Fredericksburg, which is Peter and I just lost the name. Peter and the Starcatcher. It's a story of how an orphan becomes Peter Pan. Here in Kerrville, we have Hoodwinked, which is the story of the domestication of Captain Cook. and that will be playing at the Indoor Theater
Hmm.
at the Point Theater in Ingram. And then finally, Jeremy and Liz Sosa bring a love story entitled Dear Jack, Dear Louise. And it is the story of the playwright's parents' romance during World War II, when the playwright's dad was in the military writing love letters to his then girlfriend, then fiance, then wife. I have a friend who wrote a book about her dad's love letters to her mom during World War II. And I don't know if anybody here listening still writes letters, but once upon a time, letters were a key method of communication. And even with phones, a lot of people couldn't afford a long distance call. And so lots of letters were written. And so it's a great pay dirt to mine some really beautiful love letters. And so all of those plays are playing in either Kerrville or Fredericksburg. So the vibrant little theater scene continues, and strikes me that maybe we need a theater podcast.
We are such an artsy little community. Look at us. We really are, right?
What about you guys? Do we have a birthday shower or baby shower coming up?
Oh, yes.
Did I miss that? Did I make the cut list?
That's next month. Next
Okay.
month. Has not happened yet.
VIP only.
Oh, that will be
Oh yeah, Tom, you didn't
No.
get really? You didn't get your
Must have got lost in the mail.
Oh, man. Must have
Oh,
got lost in there.
sorry.
I blame it on the...
So how you guys have you gotten through your post Super Bowl hangover addiction and all of that, or no football this weekend? I'm feeling a little down.
Heard
You
that
guys?
the UFL is going to start up this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Next week I think it is. They're supposed to, the UFL, which is the junior NFL league. So that should be interesting. We won't be without football for too long.
Okay.
Yeah. Did y'all do commercials over the Super Bowl?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you? I like them. Can you remember? It's been too long. Do
I
you know
like
which one?
yeah. I like the Budweiser. The singing seal was a little out there for me. I didn't quite get that one.
What?
And the mustache and the Cheetos really didn't make it happen. But anytime the Budweiser Clydesdales are on the big screen, I'm all for that.
Yeah, that was a cool one. Do you remember any?
I only saw the last half of the Super Bowl because I was busy the first half. I don't remember any of the commercials.
Oh, you must have been one of the three people watching in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
40-6.
Yes. Yeah,
There was one. It was for a Dodge Ram truck.
Yep.
And it was like what's the story? The porridge and the Three Bears, Goldilocks. It was
and
kind of
Three
like
Bears.
themed like that, but it was super extreme. And there was one at the end. There's bears driving the truck, and it was a little out there, but I thought that was kind of funny.
I don't even remember any of the commercials. I got up each time and did something.
Any exciting plans?
No exciting plans, but I do want to give a shout out to you, Tom, for the Rotary Club of Kerrville. The Noon Rotary Club is selling raffle tickets for their annual fundraiser. They're $100 each, and if you're interested in buying a ticket, please let somebody from Rotary, especially my friend Tom Fox over here, that you're interested, and he would be glad to sell you one or two or
And
10.
Actually, I want to shout out to CJ Goodwin, the director of Sherlock Holmes-Mare of the Night, who drove up from San Antonio to speak at the Rotary Club on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It was incredibly well received, leading to CJ's Kerrville premiere of his movie, Sherlock Holmes-Mare of the Night, is February 23rd. Andrew and I have seen it. We really enjoyed it. We think you'll enjoy it. If you like darkness, this is the movie for you. So it'll be playing at the Caillou Theater. Tickets are reasonably priced. And as he told one of the Rotarians, you can sit in the back. It won't be as scary.
I would wager that it's not too crazily scary. And I would also add that if you're a Sherlock Holmes fan, there's a lot of little trinkets of Sherlock clues and stuff sprinkled throughout the movie. So.
Right.
And with that, we will close it down. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, interact with us, share our content, helps other people find the show. We will catch you back here next week. Have a good week.